7 minutes of gameplay from the Banjo Kazooie fan remake in Unreal Engine 5. So I seen this gameplay footage and I actually thought it was pretty interesting that we were able to get something like this when it comes down to Banjo Kazooie and Unreal Engine 5. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on it. And knowing how many Banjo Kazooie fans there are out there ever since I started working on this channel, I thought was actually pretty interesting. So I figured it was something that, people would be able to watch and be able to appreciate. And for anyone that wasn't able to kind of know that this was a thing, at least bring it to some attention. So we got the YouTuber here, Francis Montegood. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, bro. Um, that made Banjo Kazooie kind of little fan remake, which I thought was pretty cool. He talks about how he wanted to get the charm and the identity of the original game while being able to kind of give it more of like a detailed environment, something that's more modern as far as engines go and everything like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Watching over the video itself, there are some gripes I have about it, little criticisms here and there, but at the same time, the fact that this person was able to actually make this the way he did, I thought was really interesting and pretty cool. So being able to see that we got fans out there that are able to do stuff like this with this game, which is like over 20 years old, I think is really awesome. And something that I very much appreciate because of the fact that I love this franchise. I love Banjo Kazooie, and I like being able to see older games be able to kind of have more of a newer look. Now, as far as the photorealism and everything like that, that's not necessarily something I'm too crazy about. You guys will see in here in a second that it does have a little bit more of like a hyper realistic look, and not to say that that's necessarily a bad thing that this person decided to go that route with it, but there is something nice with the art style and everything like that from Banjo Kazooie that does give it a sense of charm and wonder from the way that it looks as far as the art style and everything like that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and check this out, and then I will leave a link in the description for anyone that does want to go ahead and check out the video itself and be able to give some support to the individual that made this. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and go from there after we're done with all this. So let's check this out. So first off, I do want to just start off by saying I do love the environment, the way that he was able to kind of recreate it. Obviously, if you played the older game, it was back in the 2000, Nintendo 64 days. So it was one of those things where the graphics were very kind of blocky and you know what I mean. When you have stuff like this grass and everything like that, it wasn't as detailed as it is here. So seeing that he was able to kind of recreate it in that sense, I think is pretty cool. So I think that's awesome to see. Now we got our first look of Banjo, and Banjo to me looks hilarious in this because of the fact that he looks so buff as a bear, you know what I mean? And then I will say too, one of the criticisms I have is the fact that Kazooie's wings, they do in a sense look a little bit weird to me. You'll see right here in a second once he jumps in. Like, they're not necessarily bad, but they just look a little bit like almost like the feathers are kind of falling off. So that is one of the things I was kind of noticing, that I was like, I think you could do a little bit better job in that regard if you wanted to kind of actually go more of a remake style and gonna go that route. But yeah, man, I'm really digging this. I think this is so cool. And one of the features you'll see right here is something else that I like. Once he destroys the rock, you see the boom come up. That wasn't something that was in the original game, and I like that little detail that he was able to include in this, which I thought was pretty cool. So we got that, and then he's gonna attack one of the creatures right here, the carrot. And I love that he's able to reincorporate the old movements that Banjo does from the original game. So like being able to do the backflip, being able to kind of do like the punching swings that he does in the game, I thought was awesome. Now we'll go ahead and just fast forward it just a little bit. So we got him going up the mountain. Again, really cool to be able to see this like re-detailed in like a modern setting, which is awesome. I'm gonna go into Gruntilda's lair. Yeah, it really cracks me up how buff Banjo looks right here. Like, he looks swole as hell, which is awesome. I think that's so cool that he was able to make him look that, give him kind of that design. One other criticism I will say that you'll see right here in a second as well, and you can kind of notice it as the gameplay goes along, is that it feels like Banjo's like character model. He's like a little stiff. Like he does kind of have like his movements are a little bit like really straightforward. I feel like in the original game, when you see Banjo kind of moving around and everything like that, he almost has like a little bit of like a swaying that he's still able to do. Right here, watch, you'll see right here once he picks up the this puzzle piece. Like it's very stiff, it's very like he just kind of stands in place. He doesn't really move too much, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm like, that could be done a little bit better. But at the same time, this is just like a little fan gameplay remake that he's doing. This isn't something that people will be able to actually play themselves, so it's not the end of the world kind of a thing, you know. Mumbo's Mountain, let's go. And then that was another thing right here, is usually for anyone that knows the original game, whenever you do land into like go into a new world, there is a little platform that you go into, and then like you kind of like, it's almost like you magically show up. There's like these little lights that kind of sparkle, and then you kind of slowly show up from there. Obviously, you know, that isn't something that they did here. I thought that would have been really cool to see, but again, since this is something that, you know, is just being done as kind of like a portfolio, that is something that was stated. The creator just was making this not so much to actually make a remake for people to play, but just so to show what he's capable of doing as far as Unreal Engine 5 and everything like that. So little details like that, if you could see those, I think would make this a little bit better. But at the same time, if it's not something that people are going to actually be able to play, then yeah, I can see where he's coming from in that regard of kind of just skipping that aspect of it. And then these enemies right here, these ones made me laugh a little bit because since, you know, Banjo is all buff now, his character model, it does look like they kind of did the same with these creatures, which I thought was pretty funny. And then right there, you got the little health pieces that you pick up. It would have been nicer if those were a little bit less bright, along with the jiggies up there that you can see, because I feel like it does bring a little bit, it is a little bit too bright for the world, kind of a thing. But the fact that we're able to kind of get them again, I think is pretty cool. And then the soundtrack, man, I love the music in this game so much. There's so many different tunes in it that I'm just like, I'll just go back and listen to when I'm kind of just hanging out or working or something like that. Like, I enjoy the music so much. And then again, I'm loving the design, like the attention to detail that you're able to see from the original game that is put into this, which is awesome. Just gonna skip a little bit more forward. Got the Jinjos, we got the puzzle piece. Like, I feel like the puzzle piece, if it was more kind of like a little bit of like a yellowish orange like it is in the original, I think that would have been pretty cool to see. But at the same time, I don't know Unreal Engine 5, so I don't know if this was kind of like a limitation as to what the engine will allow you to do, kind of a thing. Oh man, this makes me want to go back and play the original now too. We got Mumbo Jumbo's hut right there, which is pretty cool. You got the little houses that you can destroy. Hey, see, even like with that movement right there, like I was stating earlier, you can kind of see a little bit of the stiffness. If that could be like just tweaked a little bit, I think that would be pretty cool to see. Again, the little stiffness that he has. But yeah, man, other than that, that's not really like too many gripes I have about this remake. I think this is actually pretty cool, the fact that this dude was able to kind of make this. You'll see right here too, those little sparkles, that's kind of what it looks like when I was speaking on earlier, when Banjo shows up into a new world. Kind of give those little sparkles and then just kind of have them show up. But yeah, being able to kind of see that something like this is done, it makes me so happy to see, man, because again, I love this franchise, I love this game. So being able to see something like this kind of made more into a modern look, I think is awesome. And Who knows? Hopefully, we can see more of this type of stuff in the future when it comes down to older games. If companies like Microsoft or you know what I mean, game developers and stuff aren't going to be able to actually come up with any remakes or kind of give something more of like a modern feel to it. If we would be able to kind of have someone go out there and kind of do something like this, a fan remake, and kind of just go their own route and show that love and support to the fans that really appreciate these franchises. So this was awesome to see. I just wanted to go ahead and do a video on this and go ahead and show it for all the Banjo Kazooie fans out there, and hopefully it's something they can go ahead and appreciate as well. And like I stated, I'm gonna put a link to the video in the description. So if you guys do want to go show your support, let it be known that you appreciate this remake and you know what I mean, and what this dude was able to do. I think that'd be really cool if you guys can do that. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Any Banjo Kazooie fans out there, what do you guys think of this remake? And what would you like to see done in the future if you could? Personally, I think I would like to see Treasure Trove Cove if I could. I think that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, if you guys let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, and yeah, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.